Very good morning. My name is Dipshika Sharma and I'm your host for this lovely summit. And I welcome all of you to ArdorComm Education and Leadership Summit and Awards 2026. And it's so lovely to see all of you. So without wasting any time, let's start our first panel discussion. That is, of course, our pre-launch panel discussion. And of course, we have amongst us very knowledgeable personals here. And I would like to call upon stage for the topic, NEP and Tech Advantage for KG to PG, Building a Future-Ready Generation. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on the panel, Mr. Sandip Sen, Principal, SCRS Public School, Guwahati, Session Moderator. Huge round of applause. Come on, everybody. Let's put our hands together. And we have our speakers amongst us, Cadre Dr. Gurdaman Sharma, Vice Chancellor, SRM University, Gangtok. Huge round of applause. Thank you so much. We highly appreciate your presence. We also have amongst us Professor Dr. Ginlianlal Buhril, Vice Chancellor, ICFAI University, Mizoram. Huge round of applause. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry if I have butchered your name. All right, we also have amongst us Mr. Mohan Raghavan, Director, Mind Matters Educational Group, Guwahati. And there are two other additional speakers that they will be coming. They are on their way. That is Dr. Kanak Chandra Bordoloi, President, Higher Secondary Principals Forum, Assam, Principal of Misamari HS School, Misamari, Sunitpur. Dr. Nitai, Pradhan, Principal, Good Shepherd's Home English Mediums High School, Nagaon. Huge round of applause. Thank you very much. I request the moderator to kindly start the session. And of course, we have a timer. I request you to do not exceed the timing. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone present over here. Hearty greetings to each one of you. I, Sandip Sen, Principal, Search Public School, take immense pride and honor to welcome our panelists for today's discussion, panel discussion 1, on a topic that is very important right now with regard to NEP and technology-based education from KG to PG. So it's a very important topic. So nowadays, you understand that the National Education Policy 2020 has come up with lot many objectives from, say, rote memorizations to modern understanding technologies, and then from teachers learning objectives to learner-centric classrooms. So everything is based on that. Now, I just want to introduce our panel experts for this panel session. We have Mr. Mohan Raghavan, Director, Mind Matters Educational Group. Then we have Dr. Gurdaman Sharma, Vice Chancellor, SRM University, Gangtok. And we have Professor Buhril, Vice Chancellor, ICFAI University, Mizoram. Now let us begin our session discussion. So I would request Mr. Mohan Raghavan, Director Mind Matters Educational Group, to kindly share his insightful thoughts. And for that purpose, sir, I just want to ask you one question based on that. How can NEP-driven technology integration strengthen fundamental learning outcomes for KG onwards?
Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Okay. First of all, I would like to thank everyone present here. We are discussing on important matters of education. And these are important questions. Thank you, sir, for asking me that question. So when it comes to foundational learning, we talk about, first of all, we think of, whenever we're supposing we're discussing right now, we're discussing about ideas. Ideas are represented by words. Words symbolize ideas. So first of all, we need to strengthen the vocabulary, the strength of the vocabulary of children, the sophistication level of the vocabulary. Once, and the contextual use of each word. Once that is set in, then the thoughts will be translated into speech. We'll be able to communicate and think our ideas in a precise and accurate manner. So I feel that this is one of the starting points of education in the fundamental stage. And also when you look at the brain development, the highest learning curve for a human being starts falling from the age of 6. After 6, it just dips. Why is that? Because children are new on this earth. They have to be on survival mode. They're curious why. Why do they ask, why is the sun round? Why is the moon round? Why is the moon at night? They ask these questions, and these questions are endless. Why? Because they need to survive on earth. So the mind is working at a tremendous pace, at an astronomical power. So we need to tap into that. Children can pick up 4 or 5 languages like these. All of us over here, we are multilingual. We live in India, we are multilingual. All those languages we have learned at that age. After that age, how many languages have we learned, full-fledged? It's very difficult to do that. We need to make use of that time of a child's life. And technology can help us with that. They can understand AI tools, your learning programs, online learning programs. They can identify what pace of vocabulary strength the child is in. They can understand, they can segregate them in those categories. They can give them those education. So I feel that will be a tremendous starting point if you're talking about any kind of learning. Whether it is in the vernacular language, whether it's in the English language, we can do it in several languages. But I feel like language is the fundamental. So we should begin with that, then we can get into your core math. How do you calculate, how do you look at problem solving, all your factual understanding, it begins with math. And technology will help us gather personalized, whether the student is good at calculating, whether the student is good at absorbing the question, understanding the question. So these things can be identified. And I think that will be a good starting point if you're talking about fundamental primary education.
So thank you, sir, for your insights. But do you sincerely think that language should not be a barrier for the children? Because you have talked about AI, you have talked about other tools and gadgets also. Okay. Now, main thing is that the digital learning. So at the very tender age, the students need to adapt all those skills, especially in the field of educations. Because if we see the digital world, okay, now the techno-savvy world is there. So in order to sustain in such techno-savvy world, the need to inculcate all those things at the very tender age. And that is why I strongly feel that it is the duty of the school leaders as well as the teachers at the school level, okay, so to impart the quality education, especially in the digital training. Thank you so much, sir. My next question to Dr. Gurdaman Sharma, sir.
Correct my name, Gurdaman Sharma.
Oh, sorry, sir, Gurdaman Sharma, sir.
It happens.
Okay. How can higher education institutions ensure continuity of skills, competencies, and employabilities from school to postgraduate education?
Yeah, I think a very, right question today. When we, hear our NESCOM and all these people say that all 85% of the graduates are unemployable. So where the fault lies, as a teacher, if you ask me, the fault lies with us. And this we have to, accept it upfront and definitely look into the ways what we have been doing and what we should be doing. And this has become highly doable now. There are two things which have, really come into picture in last 5 years, I would say. So to say, the first is NEP 2020 and the second was COVID. Now I say why COVID? Because COVID is something which has really hastened the adoption of technology. What we have been very apprehensive about before the COVID set in, that if a learning has to happen, it has to happen in the classroom only. But then, since our teachers were not adopting the technology, there was a big divide. What a person sitting in Mumbai or a person sitting in Delhi would be able to learn, it may not be possible for a person who is in the remote settings to learn. It is obvious that, any teacher, anyone would like to be in the bigger cities and, for all the associated reasons. So now when it comes to higher education institutions, I think this NEP and technology put together has given us a chance to see to it that wherever we are sitting, there is equity, because now everything is available online. A person sitting in the remote areas of, Assam or Arunachal or so, if there is a good internet available, the information, the knowledge that is available to a person sitting in maybe California is same. It is only the mindset of these higher institutions that has to come into play, and I think NEP has made it possible for us by laying those regulations. Now those regulatory, I would say, restrictions have been removed to a large extent, wherein we are saying that our any degree when we are doing, it has to be only 50% of the core subjects that they need to do, and remaining 50% would be window shopping. Window shopping in the sense, whatever a person wants to learn, he or she should be able to take those subjects rather than imposing that this is what is available to you. So this is another thing which has brought into picture is that maybe today when we are talking about AI or when we are talking about data science, for that matter, maybe that every college, every university does not have experts to teach. But MOOCs, availability of information and knowledge on internet has made this possible. And thanks to the thinking of, NEP and UGC, that also now come around, that 40% of the lectures could be online, which was always, I would say, a taboo in the, real world. And this is what exactly is going to develop the skills. What we are saying, the continuity, what my friend has just spoken, that it is very, very important that from KG level, we should be teaching our students in such a manner that they are ready to learn. Rather than rote learning, it has to be total understanding of the subjects. And again, we should not be talking about only the, urban areas and bigger cities where you may have trained teachers, but in remote areas, there are no trained teachers. It is physically also impossible for them to go to maybe bigger places and get trained. But if the higher education or the even the management of schools, etc., if they decide, they can definitely in a very structured manner train the teachers right from the KG level, because it is that time where the mindset is made. We have seen that 50% of the students maybe at lower levels up to third standard, they struggle. They struggle with the basics. Why? Because we may not have trained teachers who really understand the psychology of students. So once that barrier, that mindset develops, that perhaps I may not be able to learn, it continues in the days to come. So this is where the technology can also help, where we can train our teacher. They develop the right mindset of the students from that KG level, and then this continuity should be maintained right up to higher education. So when it comes to higher education, again we have to look in critically that it is not only the classroom teaching which is going to be sufficient. And we are giving 100% of our credits to what theory we are doing in the classroom. Rather, like I already said, that 50% core and remaining 50%, even if we do not have teachers, we should be allowing our students to learn online, because it is there where they will be able to learn effectively. And also, when we say that we have to develop that skill, if the skill has to be developed, it is not going to be the classroom theory that is going to develop skill. The people should be maybe doing research on their own. So here when I say doing research on their own, I am not saying that they should be coming out with papers and all that. Understanding, inquiring on their own, asking questions on their own, so that they understand better. So which should be again embedded in our curricula only. If you leave alone that it is in addition to that, the student today has a lot of distractions and other engagements. So we need to see that how we are embedding this. Next is internship. Till such time they are not going to industry, how they will be ready for the industry. That is another thing that we have to make it credit based. And again, UGC, our NEP is allowing that. It is only for us how we should be able to do that. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, in my own university, we have made this that a long-term project right from the second year onwards, so that my student should be entering in depth into something, and for himself he should be asking questions and clarify his doubts, and the teachers are there to impart him the required direction. Secondly, we have also introduced 1 year long internship in the final year, so that they can go to industry, they can learn on job, the consolidation will happen there only. The third is, while they are in the university, we have also put lot of centers of excellence in place so that industry people are coming there, interacting with them and giving them real-time projects so that they learn how to solve those issues. So this continuity, again, we have to look hard into our curricula, and maybe, sometimes our teachers and all that, they always think that what will happen to me if I am adopting the, new thing, where I will go. Don't worry. The first thing is that when we say higher education, we have to first concentrate on our teachers. We have to train them because they are one of the permanent entities of the university. If you neglect them, whatever management wants to do or whatever policies government is promulgating, it will be difficult to drive them. They should be our drivers because they are the permanent entities. So we have to, as we are saying that we should be concentrating on our students, before that we should be concentrating on our faculty members. I am always of the view, people think, especially in maybe private universities, some people, that if we will train our faculty member, he may go away and we may end up losing on this. But imagine if you don't train your people and then they stay with you, it's a dead wood. It is very important. These are the guys, not the management decisions, which are going to drive what we want. It is our teachers. So if we have to maintain that kind of continuity, what I have already stated, that let us concentrate on both teachers as well as our students, and let's be a little more proactive in adopting. When we say that if my student should be lifelong learner, my teacher has to be a lifelong learner, then only you can teach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful insights. It's truly helpful for all the educators who are present over here. So, and we have amongst us now Dr. Nitai Pradhan, Principal, Good Shepherd Home English Medium High School. We welcome you, sir. So my next question goes to Dr. Buhril. Yes, Buhril, sir, Vice Chancellor. Sir, what initiatives as an school leader or university leader one has to take up in order to strengthen NEP as well as, say, technology-based education?
For us now is we have to be brief because it's a whole day. I thought I can leave by 4:30. I'm told I have, because there's an award ceremony at 4:30. I have to extend my time here. That means I have to be here till 6. No, all those challenges are coming in. I have my note presentation here and I have this there also. I think we can save more time if we do that. But before we do that, okay. I happen to be from the state of Mizoram, so I purposefully put this bag here. And I think one big advantage we can have is, while we spend the whole day here, you catch me if you want to visit Mizoram. I think that would be a big takeaway for all of you. So there is concept, there is application. Between them, I think we should be stronger in the application side. Okay? Because my coming here should be a good thing for you to come and seize it so that you can visit Mizoram and Aizawl. I'll just take it. Now the topic says here, technology. Sometimes I almost get fed up with technology because I can do without my wife, but I cannot do without this mobile. this has been following me all till the time I sleep. So, the agenda where we have is NEP and technical advantage for. That's technology again. Huh? You're telling me without this mind we will not survive. Okay. Fair enough. It says NEP and technical advantage. No, a more interesting thing would be disadvantage of technology would be a better word for that. Because we live in a world where the bottom of the class can be more successful than the toppers in the class. That's the world we are in. Sad, but you have to admit this is true. Okay? A person who scored 39% in his degree has a better chance of making into IS than a person who scored more than 90. That's the world we are in. Which means I am more interested in the disadvantage of technology later on. You have the desktop that costs 1,51,000. You have a Sony TV that costs more than 1 lakh. Yet, we have been telling our family members, let's do without those. And if you can do more of that, I think the chance of success are more. All right? I have on my mind, my presentation says positive aspects of NEP 2020. Okay, National Education Policy. Can you look at the first one quickly? Because since we happen to be in panel 1, the first panel, it's good to be aware at the background that this NEP is also there. So, click to the second one, slide. Can you do it faster, please? Yes, that's where, technology also, when you need it most, it will fail you. That's the problem with technology, okay? If you look at this, the landscape of India, make education inclusive and flexible. I think that's a great challenge. Next slide, please. Don't worry, I'll try to finish my deliberation within 8 minutes or so, okay? We have to really race against time. And this one, you can say that universality of the approach of NEP, I think that's the beauty of this, okay? Rather than get critical, I think this is good. And then next one, please. And then let's say, you talk of curriculum, you talk of co-curricular activities, you talk of extracurricular. We have to blend all these things together, okay? I'm from JNU. Doctoral degree is from XLI Jamshedpur, 25 years in Mumbai, and 14 years in the corporate world till vice president. That's what I am. I am a footballer. Captain the Jawaharlal Nehru University team in 1983. That's a sort of background, all-round development. Without that, I think we will fail it. Emotionally, you have to be strong. Mentally, you have to be strong. And then, let's say, spiritually also. Strong in the values part. Okay? All those things have to be blended together. I'm now Vice Chancellor of the ICFAI University, Mizoram, occupying a position which I have never dreamed of. Okay? It fall into my lap by accident and that's it. Okay? Simple. That means, if you ask me what next, I'm aiming for something higher. I think. My wife asked me once, when are you going to retire? I said, the day I die, that will be my retirement day. Simple. That's the world that we live in. Which means, you have to be strong in all these areas. I'll tell you, I took my, there was a football Association of Indian Universities tournament, 41 participate some few weeks back. I bring my team here. They thought we'll be knockout in the first round. Okay, it's a knockout. First round we survived, second round we survived, third round we survived. By the fourth round, what happened was that stamina all gone. If you take the analogy of football, you need the skill, you need the stamina, you have the speed, and above all, strategy. Very important again. That's how success is going to come by. I think all these are, let's go back there. Next slide, please. And then we say, yes, I think that's good enough. Next one. Yes. And yes, sir, my colleagues have already shown it. We need to be strong in the fundamental. We need to be strong in the basics, always. Correct? No, I come from Manipur. I'm working in Mizoram. If you ask me in my town, we speak 9 different languages. 9. And if you add Hindi to that, if you add the Manipuri to that, that makes it 11. And since I'm from JNU, 2 semesters, I did my Persian and Urdu. I need to add that. I was working in Assam, add that to that. I was working in Maharashtra for Mumbai for 25 years, add that to that. I think lifelong education is interesting. And I'm working in a state, Mizoram, like this American, they survive on one language. That's tough. Okay? And then talking about Mizoram, you'll notice 22 of these Mizo guys are in the British Army. Interesting. 24 of their footballers are playing in the league, ISL league. That's interesting. And if you look at one model we follow, even on the placements, I'm saying I'm going to come up with one model for Mizoram, meaning all the Mizos working all over the world, we're going to get their datas. And all my students, we will place them abroad. Because if you place them somewhere in India means we end up torturing each other, right? Like we butcher each other through our names also, okay? That happens really. Now, if you look at this, and I think this is beautiful. And one of the programs I started in August when I joined was the PhD program. That itself is very interesting. And those of us, generation of revenue, because education, please acknowledge it. This is a business of education. It's business. It's business. Generation of revenue, very important. Okay? That is the sort of reality we have to adjust ourselves. Next one, let's see. Yes. And then that's it. Yes. Academic bank of credit. I think we can spend the whole day even on this topic. Okay? We'll skip that. Next one. Then let's say, should not prepare us education should prepare us for life. That's beautiful. See, I'll tell you, I'm a father, I'm a husband. But one of the most difficult things for me as a father is connecting with my own children. I think admit it. All Indian husbands struggle with that, all right? And then as you earn more and more, I think your connect with your wife gets better only. That is, revenue has to be a very important part of it. You don't bring any money into your home means how can your wife connect with you? Yes? Got it? Yes. Let's come to the reality side of it. Anyway, let me close it. It says, last word, unlearn, relearn, and Alvin Toffler, that American futurist, says, what they said, the illiterates of the 21st century are not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot, what? Learn, unlearn, relearn. Alvin Toffler's own words here. Anyway, with this note, sir, if you ask me, how do we really promote this technology? I think sometime I will say the best option is learn to do without that, learn that part. And I think we will progress more. Because in life, I'll tell you what, this is my last word, that human touch is so important. Unless you can bring that human element into our own existence, okay? Because if you look at it, see, I come from the state of Manipur. That beautiful state is going nicely backwards, okay? They talk about popular government. The most unpopular thing they do, they call it popular government. It is not popular, all right? So that's the sort of irony that we exist. That's the sort of thing we do. So let's say continue with technology, but learn to do without that also. Okay? I think purposefully do that, and then something beautiful may come. And all the thing that we do as educators, as academicians, what I bring into this education system is that I use more my corporate existence, my corporate life to do better on the education side. I think with this not, we are teachers, we should not be given too much of mic like this. Otherwise, we don't know where to end also. That's a problem.
Thank you so much, sir,
Sandip,
for your wonderful speech.
hello. Sandip sir, I would like to first appreciate both of these brilliant gentlemen. Sir Sharma sir, beautifully in an overall landscape, he described what are the solutions and the problems. And sir brought life and energy to this panel over here, his humor here, and he gave very insightful points. Yes. Can I add something to what you just said?
Yeah, sure, sir, sure, you can.
So sir, you had mentioned about for life, learning for life. And we talked about mental health, we talked about emotional learning. So that is something that I wanted to talk about today. we are in the industry of education. But how much education are we doing on our emotional learning? How much education are we doing on our emotional regulation or emotional control? Very less, minimal, very less, lots of scope. That is something that I'm very eager to get into. Our team is very eager to get into. So we think that three things that we need to focus on. I'm starting with emotional intelligence, self-awareness, internal, external self-awareness. Our goals, our needs, our drives, we hardly prioritize that in school. Our strengths, we hardly do that. Resilience. In life, we have, I'm talking about psychological fundamental things that everybody needs in life. Whether in academics, whether in sport, whether in music, be it anything. If you're talking about resilience, you get any problem in your life, you need to have that fighting spirit. There are some people who are more resilient and others why. We need to get into that. Empathy. Life is about two things, growth and relationships. We are creating relationships in this very room over here. We are striving towards growth in this very room over here. We need to empathize with the people. We need to work with people. We need to understand their feelings. It's not just all about us. Persuasion. If we want to persuade somebody for our project, for our goals, we need to do it in a collaborative way. We cannot do it alone. Why aren't we preparing these things in our schools, in our institutions? And we have done surveys also. The last subject, the last thing that a point that I want to add, that I didn't even think about that because I'm not naturally inclined to that, is anxiety. There are so many people crippling with anxiety right now. They're not able to not even able to tap into their potential only because of crippling anxiety. How do we solve that? These are important discussions that we have had today. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Emotional intelligence, critical thinking. Critical thinking means what? I feel that level also needs to go very high. We need to get in the basics. I'm talking only about pedagogical aspects over here. I'm not talking about organizational aspects. Only how can we make use of technology? If we are clear with our pedagogy, if we are clear with what we need to feed into the technology, only then will technology help us. So when you're talking about critical thinking, basic things, what are claims, what are assumptions, how do you strengthen an argument? People say, okay, my auntie in the UK is telling me that there are no jobs right now. But how strong is that claim? People take it for the face value and take it, all right, that's okay, that's something. But when you actually compare it with actual data, then okay, that stance may be very low. Our thinking needs to be sharp. And ultimately, if your thinking is sharp and your communication is not clear, with your body language, with your words that you use, the precise words that you use, the tone of voice that you use, the pace at which you're speaking. I'm speaking in a fast way so that I can exhibit urgency of the matter. If I give a certain pause right now, people are listening more. That's communication right there. Why aren't we learning these things? Once we know these things, we can feed it into technology. Technology will assess you in that, give you key data analytics on that. And then there will be personalized learning on these three fundamental subjects where I feel the Indian education system is lacking tremendously. These are my 2 cents that I wanted to say regardless of the question that was there. So I feel that I'm really grateful for this platform that we're able to discuss these key patterns, these key questions, and create plans around these things. So thank you.
Very aptly said, sir. Well, whatever points you have raised here, all the points are very, very important. And if we can bring improvement in all such life skills, then only we can think about technologies and we can take forward or carry forward this NEP and successfully implement in the curriculum ahead. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now, I just want to ask a question to Dr. Nitai Pradhan, sir. Sir, what role can AI, data analytics, and digital platforms play in say, enabling personalized learning across KG to PG?
So good morning to all. Good morning, sir. So actually, today, I'm staying here.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Actually, I have asked this question specially to you because you are a principal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are actually nurturing kids right from KG to up to class 12.
Yeah.
So that is a very common question to you, and that's what I prefer to ask this question to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So because of I'm actually come from Nagaon, I'm Dr. Nitai Pradhan. I'm the principal of Good Shepherd from High Schools and even Secretary of Nilanchal Sanskritika Parishad. And really, I'm very happy to stand here among you because of today actually my health does not permit you to say so more because of I'm not well today. So anyhow, I'm lucky enough to get these persons here. And actually, regarding the kindergartens, modern systems, modern methods of the teaching, kindergartens, KG. So actually this was Felix August Fevels was, it is German educators who founded the kindergartens, and kindergarten words was the German words. And the teachers were the gardeners, and the students was the plant. Gardens, this kinder is actually kindergartens. It is one, the bagicha, means it's garden. And teachers are the gardener, like the owners of the plant. So there was actually, when we treated the students, these KG students, just the school is a one garden and the teachers are as a gardener. Without care of the plants or bush, you cannot grab out it. So that is why, so the Fevers believes that the process of growth and development of the plants and the child is same. So until we take care of the plants, it will require the many things, waters, fertilizers, guard, everything. So like that the students also, when the children study in the schools, so will require the careness. So there was key features of the kindergarten, self-activities. Self-activity, three activities, self-activities of the mind and the basic law of the kindergarten. So firstly, the students, the kids, because self-activities we have to give the more space the students to do themselves freely, so as they can do it with the guidance means teachers, and they can update their mind and freely they can do, and with speed they will get. Next one is play songs. Through the play songs, because the students are actually nowadays what happening right from the beginning was, but it is out of date. Now we can, lot of things we can give to our students through the play song. They can learn easily, freely, and they can enjoy it. And through this only they can learn more things from the school. 600 gift of occupation. Gift of occupation to provide the activities, devise suitable materials known as gift. So there are the students studying some materials will request which is necessary for the students, some toys, some coloring balls, puzzles, games, letters. The students can choose themselves, and we have to see the students that how they can actually bring the activities from there only. Place of the teachers. So it does not mean that students will do all the activities and teachers will sit on his chairs quietly. Teachers should do a teamwork with the students, each KG students. There they will get the spirit and they will enjoy freely with the teachers. Teachers should show them what to do, but it should be teamwork. Without teamwork, no student can adopt it. So it is most important for them. So discipline through the love. So discipline, student can learn discipline from the love of the teachers. Teachers can teach the how you should know, that how you will behave, how to you treat to others. From where? From sympathy of love from the teachers only, these students can learn. The merit of the kindergartens, it is emphasized preschool. Preschool, they say Balbadi school, first class, nursery. So like this, is given the more stress and importance to play. Through the playing only in the play games, students can learn a lot of things. So more stress we have to give in lower section for the nursery classes, KG up to class 5 standards, because of they can adopt it easily. Necessity of the study, child's nature, his incentives and imposes. So necessity what will require them? Necessity. And this actually natures. Natures, just we should actually understand their natures, their manners. And according to that, only you have to give the education. Activities gives and kindergarten gives a new method, technique. So nowadays everybody knows that this is the technology era. So we are getting more things from the internet. And ARMS actually belongs to very rural area. We are getting more problem because of there is no facilities of the current. Though there is but a lack of current, we are actually getting problem. And even internet problem also is there. So if you get 1 hour, 10, 12 hours not available this, that is why the students, even the teachers also they are getting problem. And still, not only that, and even whatever the actually school teachers are, and management of the schools are taking the fee, it is not actually sufficient for them. Because of, you cannot actually run the schools or cannot manage the schools. Get 200 and 500 rupees. And even most of the students, they actually belong to below poverty line, and they're studying these schools free of cost. We are providing the books, clothes, everything. So it is impossible for us to give the facility to the students, whatever will require in the education. Development of nature and world child. And we have to, freely have to leave the students to introduce with the nature of the world. And the learn virtue of cooperation, sympathy, and feeling of responsibility. Then when the teachers will mingle with them softly and sympathetically, that automatically they will feel also is there. So we are expecting too much from the students. We are expecting parents, even teachers, expecting too much. So definitely, we have to give them to do themselves. So yes, they willingly do their lessons, their activities. Too much stress has been given led to the development from the within. That's not getting the actually proper education from outside. They can create from them side. From within the students, they can develop it when you will give the freely and friendly to do them. So once given the...
Thank you so much, sir. I think we are running short of our time. So thank you so much for your wonderful and as well as insightful deliberations. So to sum up, by embedding technology across KG to PG, India can nurture curiosity as well as innovation, build strong conceptual foundations, reduce the gap between education and industry, and most importantly, create a globally competitive future-ready generation. Technology integration is no longer optional, it is a policy mandate and a strategic necessity for delivering quality, inclusive, and relevant education. So with this, I just want to convey my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all the panelists who had presented their insightful presentations, and especially Raghavan sir, your presentation was also very, very exceptional, because whatever you talked about, all the life skills, that really touched me a lot. So I also want to implement these things in my own school also. So thank you so much, and thank you to CEO sir also for giving us an opportunity to put forward our views on this dais. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kindly be seated while I would like to call upon stage Mr. Kumar Chandan Anand, founder, CEO, and group editor, ArdorComm Media Group, to honor all of you. Thank you so much. You were great as panelists. First of all, we would like to honor our session moderator, that is Mr. Sandip Sen, Principal, SERS Public School, Guwahati. Thank you so much for moderating this fantastic session. Thank you very much. Also, we have our panelist, Dr. Gurdaman Sharma, Vice Chancellor of SRM University, Gangtok. Thank you so much for being such a lovely panelist. And that is Professor Ginlianlal Buhril, Vice Chancellor, ICFAI University, Mizoram. Thank you very much. Also amongst us, Mr. Mohan Raghavan, Director, Mind Matters Educational Group, Guwahati. Of course, we also have amongst us Dr. Nitai Pradhan. Okay, that is Dr. Gurdaman Sharma, Vice Chancellor of SRM University, Gangtok. Thank you very much. We also have amongst us Dr. Nitai Pradhan, Principal, Good Shepherd's Home English Medium High School, Nagaon. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session, a wonderful discussion.